The emergency beacon had been screaming into the void for 3 months before anyone heard it. Station Erebus. A Weyland-Yutani research facility. Officially decommissioned 6 years ago. Officially abandoned. Officially nothing. But emergency beacons don't activate themselves. 19-year-old Ren thought it would be easy money. Salvage the beacon. Grab some tech. Get out. She was wrong. Because the station wasn't empty. And whatever was waiting inside had been hungry for 6 years. This is insane, Rain muttered, magnetic boots clanking against the station's outer hull. At 19, she was the youngest of the salvage crew. Also the poorest. Also the most desperate. We shouldn't be here. Relax, said Tyler through the comms, his voice crackling with static. Station's been dead for years. We grab the beacon, salvage whatever tech survived, sell it on Proxima Station. Easy money. Easy money. The words every poor colony kid told themselves before doing something catastrophically stupid. Rain's headlamp cut through the darkness as they breached the airlock. The interior of Station Erebus smelled wrong. Not the usual decay of abandoned stations, this was organic. Wet. Like something had been living here. Or dying here. Air's breathable, announced Bishop, their pilot, checking his scanner. Barely. Oxygen at 60%. Temperatures 11 degrees Celsius. Emergency powers still running on backup fusion cells. After 6 years? Rain's hand instinctively moved to the plasma cutter on her belt. Not a weapon. Not officially. But it could burn through reinforced steel in seconds. The crew spread out. Standard salvage protocol. Bishop stayed at the airlock. Tyler headed for the command center. Rain drew the short straw, Biolabs, Sublevel 3. She should have known better. The Biolab was a cathedral of horror. Containment tubes lined every wall, stretching 20 meters to the vaulted ceiling. Most were shattered. Dark fluid pooled on the floor, thick and viscous. Rain's headlamp reflected off something in the corner, movement, maybe, or just her imagination painting monsters in shadows. Her tablet pinged. Automated logs, still accessible despite the decades of silence. Station Erebus, Bioweapons Division. Project, Chimera. Status, Containment Breach, all personnel deceased. Recommendation, Immediate Sterilization Protocol. Tyler, Rain whispered into her comms. We need to leave. Now. Static. Tyler? Bishop? More static, then a sound that made her blood freeze. Not static. Breathing. Wet, labored breathing. Hello? A voice. Human. Female. Coming from deeper in the lab. Rain's every instinct screamed at her to run. But humans don't run. Humans are stupid. Humans investigate. It's what makes them dangerous. It's what makes them survivors. She found the woman in Containment Cell 7. Dr. Rook, according to the name tag still clipped to her tattered lab coat. She looked 70 but the station log said she should be 42. Her skin was gray. Her eyes were white. And when she smiled, Rain saw too many teeth. You shouldn't have come here, Dr. Rook said pleasantly. But I'm so glad you did. I've been so hungry. Rain ran. She made it 3 corridors before the screaming started. Tyler. His voice cut off mid-syllable, replaced by something wet and tearing. The comms erupted with Bishop shouting coordinates, warning signals, Anything to cut through the chaos. They're in the walls. They're in the goddamn. Silence. Rain sealed herself in a maintenance shaft, plasma cutter in one hand, her tablet in the other. The station logs painted a nightmare in clinical language. Project Chimera. An attempt to splice human DNA with apex predator genetics from a dozen Deathworlds. Create the perfect soldier. The perfect survivor. The perfect weapon. They succeeded. The Chimeras were human enough to think. Alien enough to hunt. And hungry enough to wait 6 years for fresh prey. Rain accessed the station's security feeds. 3 cameras still functional. Camera 1, the airlock. Bishop was gone. Just blood and an empty EVA suit. Camera 2, command center. Tyler's body hung from the ceiling, puppeted by something moving inside it. Camera 3, biolab entrance. 17 figures shambling in the darkness. They had been human once. Scientists. Security. Station crew. Now they were something else. Their bodies warped and twisted, bones jutting at wrong angles, mouths splitting wider than physics should allow. And they were spreading through the station. Hunting. But humans don't just survive. Humans get angry. Rain had 2 advantages. First, she grew up on a mining colony. She knew how to work in hell. How to breathe thin air. How to move in 0G. How to make tools into weapons. Second, she was human. And humans don't quit. The station's maintenance network was her territory now. Crawl spaces. Ventilation shafts. Access tunnels too small for the Chimera's twisted bodies. She moved like a ghost, plasma cutter carving through bulkheads, rerouting power, sealing sections. The Chimeras were stronger. Faster. Better adapted. But Rain was smarter. She herded them. Sealed blast doors behind them. Vented atmosphere from sections they occupied. The station became her weapon, every corridor a trap, every junction a kill zone. One by one, she took them down. Dr. Rook found her in the reactor room. Clever girl, the thing that used to be a scientist hissed. But you're alone. Injured. Exhausted. You can't win. Rain smiled, blood dripping from a gash on her forehead. That's where you're wrong. She'd spent 3 hours rerouting the fusion reactor's coolant system. Overriding safeties. Flooding sublevel 3 with reactor plasma. I'm not trying to win, Rain said. I'm trying to make sure you lose. The explosion was visible from 3 AU away. The rescue ship found her 48 hours later, drifting in an escape pod, half dead from dehydration and radiation exposure. Station Erebus was gone. Just debris and ash spreading through the void. The corporate investigators asked questions. Rain gave them nothing. She'd wiped the logs. Destroyed the evidence. Some things shouldn't exist. Some knowledge should burn. You destroyed a multi-billion credit facility, the Weyland-Yutani representative said coldly. Over what? Salvage gone wrong? Rain met his eyes. It was already gone. I just made sure it stayed that way. They couldn't prove anything. No evidence. No witnesses. Just a traumatized teenager and a convenient accident. They let her go. 6 months later, Rain sat in a bar on Proxima Station, her salvage crew days behind her. She had new work now. Legitimate work. Safe work. Her tablet pinged. Anonymous message. No return address. Inside, station logs. Not from Erebus. From 12 other facilities. Similar projects. Similar breaches. Similar cover-ups. And a question: are you willing to finish what you started? Rain stared at the message for a long time. Then she smiled. That same bloody, furious smile she'd given Dr. Rook in the reactor room. Humans don't quit. She typed one word. Yes. The galaxy had no idea what was coming.